Hey y'all, it's Farmer Mima, and today is the day before Resurrection Sunday. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to get started resurrecting our health and getting back to where we need to be. And so I want us to start simple. First of all, I want to let you know I am blogging now over on, it's quitefranklyjen.com. That was who I was trying to be when I started that website. I had switched from Farmer Mima, but it's quitefranklyjen.com. And I'm going to be blogging there. I posted a blog last night basically stating that let's start easy. Let's do some very basic things that no matter what diet you adhere to, these should all make sense. Okay? Number one, get rid of all the junk. Get rid of the processed foods. Get rid of the sugar. I'm sorry. And those types of things. Just junk food. The stuff you know it's not good for you. If it's a no-brainer, get rid of it. I also want you to really consider getting rid of the breads, the cakes, the pastas, and stuff like that. And I'll tell you why. There are multiple reasons, and I'll do a blog post on more in depth why. But between the chemicals it's sprayed with when it's raised like grains, especially wheat, the fact that it's a genetically modified organism and it isn't what our body is used to, our body doesn't know what to do with it. It causes a lot of inflammation. It exposes us to toxins. Plus, most breads and flours are bleached, so it takes out all the nutrients. And then they put in synthetic nutrients. So anytime you have like a bleached flour, it's going to include folic acid. Now, folic acid, which everybody preaches about, take your folic acid when you're pregnant. It actually kind of gums up the works in your body. And folate, the naturally occurring folate, is better for you. So if you must have bread, try to go with an all-natural, unbleached flour that you can use to make your bread. It does exist. It is a little more expensive, but it does go on sale occasionally. King Arthur has a good option, and I'll put a link. That was a motorcycle. The other one was a pickup truck. Anyway, I'll put a link below to that brand so you know what you're looking for. But here's the deal. You don't want synthetics in your body. You want the natural nutrients that God created in you. Now, if you can grow your own garden, oh, hallelujah, do it. Even on a small scale, even if you just supplement what you're already buying at the store with some, what's going to happen is because you control the soil and you can control for the nutrients, and your food that you grow yourself is going to taste better because it's full of nutrients. If you ever notice, stuff from the store just doesn't taste as good as the stuff that you grow. And that's because even organic foods are grown in just depleted soils. They don't always replenish the nutrients into the soil. And if they do, it's with chemicals. And so you're not getting the health benefits that you do if you can grow your own. Now, that wasn't even what I was going to talk about today, but there it is. So give up the flours if you can. If you can't, try to make it yourself and use unbleached flours. Make sure, look on the ingredient list and make sure they do not contain folic acid, because that is not good for your system. You need folate. It's really important for detoxing your body so that when you do get those chemicals in your body, if you're not able to detox with folate, then you just start to store up your chemicals. And if you've got some fat on your body like I do, that's where your body likes to store all the junk it doesn't know what to do with a lot of times, is it'll stick it in your fat cells. And so then you lose weight and all that stuff starts, like estrogen is stored in your fat cells, y'all. And so when you start losing weight, if you start going a little bit crazy and get emotional, that is because all of that estrogen is being re-released into your body, which may be why when you're going through menopause and stuff, and maybe that's why the weight doesn't happen. I don't know exactly the science behind that, or if there even is any science behind that, but I know that as I have gotten to this time in my life, and I'm not menopausal yet, y'all. I keep waiting. It keeps playing peekaboo with me, but so far it keeps coming back. So anyway, not the menopause, the not menopause. But anyway, so to start off, what I want you to do, if you're struggling to stick to a plan, is just stick to the basics, okay? Make better choices on your diet. Get rid of the junk food. Get rid of the high carb foods. If you can go without potatoes, that would be awesome. But if potatoes are better than bread, but they're still potatoes. A sweet potato is better than a white potato. And so just look at doing the best that you can. Something else that is really, really important is moving, getting up and moving. And if you can't get up and, if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, move your arms, do something. If you can lift weights, or even just like a can of beans in each hand, do what you can with what you have. But I want to encourage you, whatever you're doing, push yourself just a little bit every day. Do a little bit more, every day. And if you're making any big major dietary changes, please talk to your doctor about it first. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you medical advice, but I do know that, if you're diabetic, for example, you may be taking medication that lowers your blood sugar. And if you stop eating a lot of high sugar foods, then your body will naturally lower your blood sugar. And so if you're taking medication on top of that, your blood sugar could get lower than normal and maybe too low. And so talk to your doctor. Do this in a smart way, but don't let a doctor tell you that you have to eat sugar ever so often. You need to talk to a different doctor, because your body doesn't need sugar. It needs nutrients. It needs calories to do what it has to do, but it does not need like a lot of sugar. Okay, so talk to a doctor who wants you to get healthy, because some doctors would just rather you stay on pills, and I don't want to get started on that. That's not what this video is about. So anyway, but what I want you to also try to do is, and if you have any kind of medical condition, talk to them about starting some physical activity, okay? But you can start somewhere. If you're sitting on the couch, if you can't move around very much, maybe you have a lot of aches and pains, do what you can do. If all you can do is exercise your arms and maybe twist your body, then do that. Start somewhere. It's so important that you just get started. But every day, try to see if you can go a little further. If you can run 2 miles, no problem, then just start trying to run 3 miles. Push yourself until you're getting further than you used to. For me, just walking up and down the street without getting winded would be a success for me. And so, I'm going to start pushing myself. But what's even more important, I don't know that it's more important, just as important, when you're getting some exercise, I want you to get outside. There are so many health benefits to being outside. If you can do it safely, barefooted, like not around snakes, okay? If you can be barefooted and just walk in the grass, or even on concrete, if that's what you have, do it. It just is very relaxing and calming, and you're getting vitamin D. Even when the sun isn't shining, there is still some vitamin D to be had, and your body needs vitamin D for so many things. And like I said, I'm going to be blogging more, and I'm going to be posting about individual nutrients, and I'll be posting about individual conditions. But the things I'm going to be focusing on first, I don't have a blog post up yet, but I'm going to be focusing on some of the most common situations that are out there, and where we can all benefit from some basic changes, like eating better, exercise, get outside. And so I'm going to be talking, y'all, I just lost my train of thought of what I was going to be doing first, but I'll be talking about things like like vitamin D, vitamin C, what these things do for you and why it is so important. And when possible, we need to get it from our food and not from a pill. But if a pill is what we have to do, that's what we have to do. Some of us, that's just the option that we're lucky enough to have, that we even have that option. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear all this, but anyway. So those are some of the things that we're going to be focusing on. We're going to talk about eating better. We're going to get moving. We're actually going to talk about stress and anxiety, because that is something else that is has a big impact on our health, is stress and anxiety. So we'll be talking about just how we can deal with that. And y'all know I'm cheap, and so we're talking about how you can deal with it on the cheap without spending any money. And there may be some options that cost, but my goal is to do this without having to go shopping, without having to spend any money, and getting the most natural benefit possible. So anyway, and one of the other things that I will be talking about soon is a leaky gut, healing your gut, because I think most of us have some level of leaky gut, unhealthy gut. Our microbiome is kind of off, and we'll be talking about healing that, because when you have a leaky gut, that leads to inflammation all over your body, and that's the beginning of disease. Whether it's, you got anything that ends in itis, arthritis, gastritis, pancreatitis, diverticulitis, all of this is inflammation, and it can all be influenced by your diet. Now, some things can't go away, but most things can. And so I want to leave you at that. Keep your eye out for my blog post. I will post it to my Farmer Meemaw page on Facebook as soon as I get it posted. There is one posted there now, just talking about getting started. Oh, and I skipped the most important thing. Before you get started, I want you to get a journal or just a piece of paper, okay? And I want you to write down every ailment and complaint you have, whether it's you had your gallbladder removed. I mean, think like surgeries. You've had a hysterectomy, you've had your gallbladder removed, you've had hernia repairs, you've had carpal tunnel syndrome thing repair, anything that you've had surgery for, anything you take medications for, whether prescription or over the counter, if you've got migraines, if you've got heavy periods, if you've got chronic swelling in your legs, or, you get dizzy when you sit up. Anything you can think of that has been bothering you. Maybe it's been bothering you for so long, it's just become normal to you. But I want you to make a list of everything, including, are you anxious? Do you have, are you dealing with depression? Did you know all of those can be affected by your diet as well? And so make a list of everything. And the reason I want you to do this is because as you're healing and you're getting better and feeling stronger, you're going to forget about just how bad it was before. But also, whenever you're getting discouraged and you're wanting to give up, you don't see any changes, you can go back to that list, and then you realize, oh, wow, that, and for me, one of those things was a chronic cough. I had a chronic cough. Every time I started to talk, I coughed. I mean, it was just like, and I have really bad asthma. Well, no. Let me go back. I do not. Let me take that out of the air there. I do not have really bad asthma. I have asthma that is laughing induced. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. I've had a few asthma episodes here lately because of a video on Facebook, and it's this little girl, and she's eating something, and she says it's good, but then like 2 different times she's like trying to choke back her gag reflex, and I laughed until I cried, and then I laughed until I coughed. And so taking care of our lungs, especially right now with everything going on and things that are going on, and your lungs can have issues with, it's so important right now that we take good care of ourselves. And so, we're going to be getting healthy together, and you're going to, like I said, I had a chronic cough, and I'd forgotten all about it. And then I started eating sugar again, and that cough came back, and all these other symptoms that I'd forgotten about came back. And so it would have been nice if I had that list to begin with and say, wow, you know, I had all of this stuff wrong with me, and then I was eating better and this stuff went away. And so it helped to remind me, I don't want to go back there, because right now I am back there, and I don't want to go back there again. I want to move forward from this point on. And I know you do too. I know it may seem hard or overwhelming, and that's why I want you to start simple. Make a list of everything that you're dealing with right now, okay? And then I want you to start simple, okay? Make some changes to your diet as best you can. The stricter you can go, as long as it doesn't make you feel deprived, the better. But let's get rid of the junk. Let's get rid of the processed foods. Home cooking is always better. Homemade bread is better than store-bought bread. If you have to have bread, and then try to use the stuff that does not have folic acid, that has not been bleached. So let's start simple, get moving, and I want to hear in the comments below, tell me what kind of physical activity you're doing now and what kind you're going to do if you're not doing any right now. So I will talk to you soon. Keep your eye out for the blog post. I love you guys, and stay healthy, and I hope you have a happy Resurrection Sunday. Bye, y'all. Whoa.